The Utah Schools for the Deaf and Blind is serving students statewide. So we have campus programs and we have outreach programs. And as an outreach provider, we either do direct services or a consultation model, depending on the student's need and what's on their individualized education plan IEP. So every student is their own universe. So we meet our students where they're at. So we do have students that are deaf-blind on my caseload, and I have students that are blind and students that are visually impaired. And so we will assess our students and take their eye reports and see where they're at and where their current and future need is. So for some of our students, their current and future need is to learn assistive technology, to learn Braille, how to access their general or special education classroom. And some of our students might need modifications and accommodations, and we can push into the classroom, or we can provide the team, the classroom teacher, or any other professional on their IEP, their individualized education plan. So teachers are very busy, so they're very grateful when we're able to provide them that access, those materials, and that education and those resources.
The 3% rule is if a district has 3% or more of Utah's student population, they generate enough funding to serve their own students and don't necessarily require the support from Utah Schools for the Deaf and the Blind. They have their own teachers of the visually impaired, their own mobility specialists in some districts, and they have the option to contract with us if they want to receive our services.
So blindness and visual impairment is a low incidence disability, meaning not a lot of students are blind or visually impaired. It's even more rare for our students to have multiple disabilities. So some of our students are both blind and deaf, and that is a range. So some of our students could have some visual impairment and complete hearing loss, and vice versa. We also have students on our caseload that might not be able to walk or talk. And so we are coming in as outreach professionals, working with the occupational therapists and the physical therapists on how they can access the world around them in a different way, because having those students also have and show their purpose matters too, and being able to unlock their potential is such a magical part of our job.
The reason why the outreach program works so well for our teachers and for our students is because our teachers have certain criteria that they have to meet before they even become a teacher. Or if they're going back to school to get the certification, they're mentored by somebody who has the proper certification from an accredited university that require intensive training for the teachers. Our teachers come very well prepared to do the work when they graduate from these programs.
Another part of working in outreach is collaboration, and we collaborate with our teachers, but we also collaborate with our parents. They are a very crucial part of our team because they know their child in the home and they want their child to be independent. So being able to collaborate with those parents to see where they want their child to be and having them advocate for their child is really important, and having them be educated in all of the tools and everything that we're doing with them is just as important as our students knowing how to use the tools.
The reason why the outreach model that we implement works so well is because it's very student specific. There are certain things that our teachers have to do that we require them to do to make sure that they're an expert in. When I get a little bit of one-on-one with the students, they tell me how much they appreciate and love the teacher that is working with them. A lot of times it might even feel like a second mom to the student, and they say that they couldn't do as well in school if they didn't have the support from their teacher of the visually impaired or orientation and mobility specialist. I love hearing these stories, and I love listening to what the kids tell me about their teachers. We send out surveys to teachers and parents on our outreach providers because we want to know how things went for the school year. So when I read the feedback from these surveys, it's so positive, and I love sharing it with the teachers so that they can read that they have made such a positive difference in the lives of the students that they have served.